There's what you call grand corruption, petty corruption, and systemic corruption.
Free education is the cheapest project the government can embark, unlike construction.
Small issues like lights, steady power supply. For me, that's the biggest issue.
We need to look at socio-political, economic foundations and resilience organizations for our teenagers.
Leadership is an opportunity for you to serve other people. And if you are not willing to serve, you have no business being in leadership.
On my story today, Ambassador Tony OGAH takes us through his upbringing, his challenges, and how he rose to the ladder. Please stay tuned and be inspired.
Have you heard me today? I need you to know that this is my story from rags to riches.
My name is Adechon Shote, Ni Aboaba. This is my story. I can't tell you everything, you know.
My name is Ambassador Anthony OGAH, aka Kogi East Governor. Yeah, I was born 15 August 1977. I just celebrated my 40th birthday just last August. Yeah, this August. I was born in Ida, Kogi State. Originally from Ibadan local government. Ibadan local government is one of the new local governments also in Kogi State. So I was born and brought up at Ida. I schooled there, my primary school, my secondary school is at Ida. Then came to Abuja in '98. Started working with the Office of Head of Service of the Federation, and then later proceed to further my education also. Then I at the University of Abuja, where I studied sociology, BSc in sociology. I'm married with 5 children. I'm married from Imo State. I could not remember when I was sucking my mommy's breast anyway. Yeah, I could not remember, but I remember when we used to take some little coin to go and buy sweet, and they used to beat us at home, how we grew up. Then I remember vividly how my mother stood up seriously to make sure that we were educated, we go to school. In fact, I don't even know how to address this, because I know every mother labored, every mother did that for every child to be updated anyway. But my mother case is so peculiar. She actually wanted us to be up there doing. And when I noticed the stress and the figure where she's trying to take us to, and I respond to that, we really obeyed to her. Then we're thinking that she was punishing us, she was restricting us from a lot of friends and everything. I never knew that she was giving us a training. Like when I came to Abuja in '98, it was those training that my mother gave to us that was like guiding me. I've never had a police case, I've never had any issues on antisocial activities and everything. I never accused her, because she was guiding us from those from elementary when we were growing up. But we were thinking that maybe it was like punishing us, it doesn't give us access right to life, to socialize with other children. And now, I'm now remembering that, yes, those other people that were having liberty then, many of them are drug addicts, they are criminals now. So, sincerely speaking, the peculiar thing I will ever remember and thank my mother for is that quality training she has uploaded in me. And when I got married, I see that also as a lesson that I must also transfer the same thing to my children also. Despite we parents now, we compromise with our children, it's not the quality of discipline that they gave us then, it's not the same what we are doing now. we are compromising with our children. We find it difficult to beat them, and correcting them. But in my own case, I don't do that because I remember which family we come from. My father, I'm from a polygamous family. My father is married to 4 women, 21. We had 21 children, and you can imagine most of the polygamous family, they are the one producing nuisance in the society. Polygamous father, he belongs to everybody. It's a multi-choice. It's only your mother that's always care for. If you know, I don't know if you have experience of polygamous family. The father will just produce you and go, so your mother will take the responsibility, truly. So that's why at times when some people are always envy, just like in the village, some people are envy mother that this boy or this woman is only the mother is taking care of. Definitely everybody must love the mother. Because the polygamous from a 21, family of 21, you can imagine, and she's the last wife. You can imagine the pains and the agonies mother passed through to bring us up there. So to me, I've learned that so much. You see some of my kids, I bring them up and I discipline them also. I don't compromise. It's not about me anymore. It's not about them tomorrow. If I can be here today appreciating the discipline of yesterday, they will also leave us to appreciate the discipline of us tomorrow. Most especially quality education. The best thing, I always tell people when I go to my place, I address them, that we should always have a children that we can train. Don't just born nuisance. Boko Haram has father. Criminals, drug addicts, they have father. Lack of parental cares that lure them into all those activities. They were exposed. They have quick access right to life. And it's very, very bad. I remember then we used to go and fetch firewood for my mother. I fetch water, yeah, we do it. I know how to make gari, sincerely speaking. I am not political about what I'm saying, very real. I know how to do palm kernel oil. We do it. Sincerely speaking, when I got married newly, those things, it was not a threat. My wife was even scared because I know how to cook. And every woman, definitely, if you are going to marry a man that know how to cook, you know what I'm talking about. Because I'm going to be the class monitor, checkmating the activities of cooking. Unfortunately, she's Igbo, so she know how also to cook too. But later, after getting married, she made me to become so weak. I can't do all those domestic stuff like before again. Some of our parents then were not educated, especially mothers. And when the mother is not educated, it may affect the child. I personally never see education as a key. That is a gateway that can make one to become independent. Yes, I never knew of then, but she was trying her best to give us a good education. But we never, because we wake up in the morning, there's a breakfast, we eat 3 square meals in a day. We never knew there's going to be a challenge ahead of us. And that was what made me, it pains me. I'm always educating other children that if you know the task ahead of you, definitely you don't need to be playing at this element. Some of these young ladies coming up, I tell them they have a lot of tasks ahead of you. It's not about getting married. It's not about to have a child, how to raise a home, how to make your man to be happy and some other stuff. So we don't compromise. Some take it for granted. I remember when I was in a school, some ladies do fixed nails, buy Brazilians and everything. I say, it's just because we are not married. If you're married now, time will come, all those things, you will not see them as stuff again. You'll be saving that money for tomorrow. So the basic tax mostly is not, I can't even see it as a tax, it's a discipline. We'll wake up in the morning to go and fetch water. The father wakes up very early in the morning to go and fetch water from the stream. That's why he can afford the tanker water, he wakes us up. But we're seeing those things as a punishment. The neighborhood then, we're seeing it that this man has something, he's enslaving his children. So those things give us the synergy. When we came to Abuja, it's just like the way we're having NYC, it's preparing you for a Labor Day. So he was like our own NYC then. But we never knew. We thought he's just trying to just punish us like that. So when we started having independence, we now started being self-reliant. We know. We get that from. It teaches us how to cook, to do all those things. If I cook a goosey for you,
Alongside Timmy.
My name still remains my name. E to the X to the P. Expensive himself. Any other one, the Masai. Asaki Antofi. Buyaka. This is my story. I'm proud to tell you my story.
My name is Maxwell Chibike Opera, a lawyer, an activist. This is my story.
My name is Zachary Aldo, and this is my story.
My name remains Ekpoto Emmanuel, and this is my story.
Good part mostly is inbuilt. If you are good, you are good. It's inbuilt. But I remember then when I was in Zone 4, that was around 98, then Nikon Insurance was at Zone 4, close to Agri Quarters. I'm the only person watching their cars there. I watch their car in the morning, they said to me, I use that money to go and look for a job in the morning. I do that, I don't look at people's parliament, because one of the major problems we have in the society is today, make the con say. These are the things, it doesn't make people skilled to work. That's it. We have a lot of vacancy things going on there. Let them not con say, they don't know. That's a very big problem. I made a covenant prayer with God that God empower me, bless me to be a blessing. And I never knew that God was listening to me. And that's the reason why any moment of our life we should be very careful how we talk. We should be very careful any moment we talk, God is everywhere. And when I was saying this, I was even packing a gutter at Zone 4. Sincerely speaking, some people say they let of different background to update themselves there yesterday. No, my own case wasn't like that. Many people that know me, they know that I really start from somewhere. I was the only person washing the car at Nikon Insurance at Zone 4. Zone 4 there. I was the one watching all their cars. When they come in the morning, I wash their car, put the wiper. Later, they will come and say to me, I use that money to go. Both SS quarters there also too. Behold, one of the man that gave me 200 naira notes in my life, for the 200 when it came out newly, the man that gave me the money to, there was a wedding we went, one of the big shots from Accountant General, he was there. I was the shaman on the wedding. The man that, you can see that destiny is a different thing, yeah. Destiny you are seeing is supersede. And I was like surprised. He doesn't know me anymore. But I'm the one that recognizes it, but I keep quiet. And I believe that very moment, God wants to test him also. And after some time, they call and I open speech and sit down. He asked, we have a handshake. And I asked him that he didn't know me again. He said no. And I told him that I'm so person, so time when he was that I used to watch car for him, is the one that gave me this. And the man felt bad. He felt bad that somebody he gave. And this is destiny. You can't battle with love. It's possible if he has celebrated me on that table, God will still elevate him because Oga na Oga. But because at that moment he felt so bad, before I could be able to look around again, the man left at the venue there. So we should be very careful what we do any moment with anybody. You look at the society, and what I'm always advising every human, especially the youth coming up now, that are drawing something on their body. Humility, if you are very humble and honest, you'll get there. You don't need the qualifications to get there. Destiny has nothing to do with blessing. Has nothing to do with education. Destiny is destiny. Your attitude gives you gratitude. And how do you do that? Humility. You can see a lot of, where's our culture? Where's the respect? A lot of youth now don't have respect anymore. Our culture is dying. You must serve a king to become a king. How many person is ready to even? I don't know if you have been to a place you come, nobody will stand up for you to. No respect anymore. In 10, 15 years to come, there's going to be a problem. Because the kind of youth I'm seeing today, I don't have confidence or trust in them. Some of our parents look at, with a little money, they could be able to raise us up, do everything. But any little boy that have little money, how can somebody just left school or still in school is using a phone of 120,000? You are using a capital. An Igbo man that served the master for 7 good years, they use 200,000 naira to settle him for 7 good years. And we are using 250,000 to buy a tablet phone. I'm not using capital. We are always leaving everything for government to come and develop everything. No, you can't do it alone. There's something in us. There's a skill in us that we need to activate. He has given us all the power to do. You see a lot of our youth putting dandruff, or how do you call it, drawing tattoo on the body, doing loways, chasing multiple girlfriends and everything. Now those time is going. We're emulating the Europe, but they are more advanced than us. So see, I think we really need to work on our youth seriously. But I thank God I'm not in that class. On a very serious note, and I'm always happy, and it will make me, we always pray for our children, and we are going to follow them by God's grace. I know it's God that guides children. But with what I'm seeing, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that in 10 years to come, it will be worse. We have a lot of skill that we can be able to do. But the pride in us do not allow many people to do it. I remember in my place, I trained, 3 people wrote JAMB and 2 passed. One of them failed. He did not make it. So he have to wait behind. I sponsored those other people to university. They are finished. The other person for exam for another year again. I now advise him that instead of you waiting like this, let's be doing one thing. You should go to GSM village and be learning how to be working, repairing phones and all those stuff. Do you know that that guy now has bought a Camry and a house, and those two graduates are still feeding with me? They are in my boss quarters. I'm talking to you. So what are we talking about now? Your qualification is not a guarantee that you will make it. You must attach skill. You must attach. So people compromise, say, I'm a BSc holder. No, it's not a guarantee. Many things we are celebrating, which class, Brigade and other people, did you hear about their school? We are hearing about their skill, what they use hand to create, their ideology. And one of the blessings, the major blessing I have in my life again is my wife. She encouraged me in many, many things. I don't know how to say. I can dance. There's nothing I cannot give out to. I can dance even this. If I see anybody that is, maybe I feel I'm better than, I can remove something and that. At the point, my family started hiding things away from me. Truly, they started hiding many, many things away from me. If you come back, my wife was feeling, was in the hospital one time. I bought food for her. On my way to the hospital, I saw somebody there was hungry. After that, the food again and go and buy another food again. It's a problem. It's imbued. I'm not a politician. I don't have a dream to become one. I've never been to any political office. In fact, I don't even vote. It's only this 2019, by God's grace, that I personally want to make a change. I want to cast a vote. I don't fraternize the politicians. I don't see the originality in them. They are the cause of the problem we have in our society today. They have make a lot of youth to know how to cop gun. They have make a lot of youth to know how to be stealing. Because what they teach them, they are not funding them anymore. So they have to think otherwise. So I'm not saying politics is evil, but based on the way we are mismanaging, we are abusing them. So it doesn't attract me to be. So I do it. They name Kogi East Governor, they are calling me. It's just because I was doing some of those projects the way what governors supposed to be doing, or politicians supposed to do. I've done plenty boreholes in my place. I've trained more than 48 people in the West and Polytechnic. You understand? And presently, some of all the widows in my place, I arranged many of them, and assisting some of their children in school, and also educating some of those ones that their husband is still alive, that a woman needs to be empowered. Even though it's a pure water, even though it's anything, a woman needs to be an independent person, so that it will not make that widow to become a senior beggar or to lure her into prostitution.
My name is Ugochukwu Omeago. Grew up a young child with polio, survived it and succeeded through it as well. And went to the primary school here in Nigeria and went to a secondary school, finished from the university here before I traveled to the United States. I have worked in several companies that are blue chip companies. I have built about 4 companies, and each time people see me, they wonder how I did it. But I'm so surprised that they're even shocked, because every human being, regardless of the circumstances you were born, you're always bigger and better when you realize that you have the power to do anything. And I'm sure that if you believe that you can have the capacity, you can always be anything that you really want. And this is my story.
If I had the opportunity to become or to go back to my childhood, those abandoned messages that my mother have sent me, I refused before, I will go and complete them. Then the quality education, those assignments, and those drugs that she was giving me when I was sick, I used to throw them at the back of pot, I will go and retake them again. Sincerely speaking. Because I now find out that we are the problem of ourselves. If I'm privileged, if I have opportunity for the clock hand to go back again to the child. And because I know it's not possible, that's why I'm starting that on my children. I'm monitoring them. Because I know where I lost them. So if you are seeing me as 100% now, what will have made me to 120%? The 20% of yesterday I bought it, I will go and revitalize it again. We look at the check and balance. One, we look at the family first. Because family migrated to government. Because everybody, even the governor, the president is from a family. Let's say just say that's the first aid now. So the role now, mostly many of the family political parents, there's a lot of compromise. Our upbringing, the way we are disciplining our children now, is not that the way many of even those parents were brought up. We compromise a lot. Nobody wants the child to be corrected by another person. I've seen serious cases where other parents go to private school or school to go and work. What is teacher? How can a parent leave a house to go and deal with the teacher for even correcting the child. We have seen a lot of children like that. We see a lot of parents. And anytime you are taking your child to teach and be, you are giving her more impunity, more power to be more corrupt. Who is the mother of lesbians? Who is the parent of homosexual, criminals? Those ones that brought tattoo or hair. Who gave them the franchise? If you remember those days, they don't think there's a rehab home because a lot of drugs addicts were not there. But if you go to rehab home, that's where you see a senator, a governor, children are in rehab for drugs. Oh, do you want to tell me that they are hungry? Just like the first question that those hard times that their parents were bringing us up. He never lured people into those antisocial activities. But now you see a privileged man that is doing well, paying the children's school fees and everything, but their children are into drugs. They jump fence, go to party. Somebody is in the school in Port Harcourt, is in Abuja for a birthday party without the knowledge of the parents. So parents are not doing what they're supposed to do. The reason why I'm starting from the parents is that before we go to Senate, Villa or judiciary, is from the parents. Government have a lot of role also to play too. Look at all the infrastructure. I think on the way coming to this place, the road is not hard. You see a lot of youths on the road, they're selling recharge card, selling plastic, baby toys. Do you think that they are forbidding education? Do you know the pains in them? Are they happy? When we are talking about peace or bringing those people together, the pains, they remember their classmates those days. Where is sister? There's no time they go to village, they see Nnamdi or Emeka come back home with a car that it doesn't trigger them where they were yesterday. So from there, you can't get enabling environment. If you have 5 children, you train 3, you leave 2, and there's a problem. Definitely there's a problem. Go back to our schools. All the primaries and nursery schools, or the primary school and secondary school that we all attended, both the senator, the president, everybody, the schools are all dilapidated. Whatever where anybody is stealing, burying money, buying fleets of cars and people are hungry, to me, they are all vanity. When you are sleeping in the night, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know the car, you don't have one until you wake up again if you are privileged before you see those things. So I decided to go on this foundation and to be touching people, and still want other persons also to come on board to see how they can be able to assist other children. People, Nigerians are really suffering. I give thanks to Almighty God for keeping me, and I also thank Him for that spirit is still keeping me, that I've never forgot all the stories, all what I've told Him, and He has been doing them to me. And I also thank God for the life of my wife. My wife, she is a graduate. Before we got married, you can imagine when a woman is a graduate, then I was a school sat. Yeah, it's my story. I was a school sat, and when we get to meet, I never lied anything to her. You can see, I say that in my first paragraph, lies doesn't last. I told her when we met, asking me, I told her I'm a clerical officer, that was 98. I'm a clerical officer with a salary of 12,000. Yeah, that's CCC. We never even knew we were going to marry. I was thinking, it's one of those things now. Yeah, so, and she was inspired that me saying the truth, that I'm not a graduate, and my salary is this, that. The first day she came to my house, I was having 14 naira on my table, and I wanted to give her the other one so that I can use to enter bag. I told her that's the only money I have in me. She took her time to study that all what I said is true. Coupled with where she's coming from, all the kind of people she has met before, that people like. So she sees something very peculiar in me that she subscribed. That's how we come to meet. And when I asked her that, what did you really see? She said that's honest. That I told her my qualifications, my age, my salary where I was. She kept quiet. I was even thinking that, I feel primary, why I no lie? I never knew that truth I said is what made her now to say, okay, we started together. And she encouraged me, she motivated me, she encouraged me. I went to University of Abuja. And today I'm a BSc in sociology, University of Abuja there. And I also pray for other women to emulate that kind of spirit. And I also pray for other men not to abuse that kind of privilege or opportunity, because I see a lot of women always abusing women. When women are very nice, a lot of us men don't take them so serious. And when you don't take your woman that sacrificed for you so serious, you have aborted your tomorrow today. This is my story.
And that's it on My Story Today. For your comments and suggestions, please send a text or WhatsApp message to 0806 004 2843. Thank you for staying tuned.